Hello. For today's class, it's teaching about the cross-site scripting attacks. So, when we're learning cloud computing, so we work on the Happy.js, try to implement API server, and after we implement it, we try to include different type of like package to prevent certain attack or like validation, authorization. Okay, and then in the like security issue, then we need to know like what are the possible attack like we need to prevent. And that's what we need to like working together. So it's pretty one common is like we call the crossing site scripting. So sometimes we call it as a short term, we call that XSS attacks. So it's a security vulnerability. It allows the attacker to inject malicious scripts into web page like viewed by the user. Because when we are hosting our website and then we also have a API server, so it's easy to maybe like in somehow we can inject through the like the different high level of file permission, or because the validation or checking of the input of our API server, we are allowed to do it. So it will affect all the website applications because they try to manipulate things like the client-side scripts. So it's possible to lead to the like data thief to steal all your information. Yeah, once they inject certain scripts and post it back to their own data server, then they can save all the information or like session hijacking or other malicious activity. So it's all possible to occur. Okay. So how it works, so they will try to inject the script through the like user input field. So let's say if we have the comments area form, maybe your username, password area, email, or any maybe some message. So they will, because when our server allowed to take those inputs, then after we take it, so it will affect the user by executing all this script unknowingly in their browser. Because for the user, they don't know, but for the attacker, they can try to inject it. Okay, so far we have three types of exercises. We're going to discuss in our lecture. So one is called the store XSS, and then three reflected XSS and DOM-based XSS. So we will have three types of it. So the first one about the store XSS, so we will mainly the scripts. So they already store on the server side. So after we inject it, send it to the server, then we will save it. So every time when we have new user try to request it from the API server, then we will deliver the injected script to other users. So because like it already stored in our server, so we have no way to avoid, so it will attack all the users. And then we have one more called the reflected XSS. So it's the script reflect off of our web server. So it will execute immediately. So when you send it to the web server, then we will just directly execute this part. And the last one is called the DOM-based access. So the vulnerability mainly exists like in the client-side JavaScript environment. When we open a browser to open a web page, and all the script, if we are letting the user to input certain have some like input field, then we can try to inject a script. So we will execute it to our server. Okay. So basically, what's the flow for attacking? So we try to let the user like input the malicious code, and then the server maybe they store it or reset this code. Reset them maybe execute immediately. So other user they don't know we already executed this script. So we call it unknowing. Okay. So all these accesses, the cross-site attack. So we correlate some possible potential impacts, including the data thief. They will steal our like cookies or session tokens. If they're able to steal the cookies or section tokens, that means they can be pretend they are you. So if you're like using online banking or using certain online shop have a card. And then if you want to make some purchase, or sometimes you send your credit card, debit card information, so they're all able to access it. So they will have an account takeover or the manual distribution. So it's all possible to perform this behavior. So here you see the details more about the data thief. So we can access the cookie, store all those like section tokens and the personal data. When we talk about this session hijacking, because when we try to implement, if you still remember, we try to using the authorized for the happy.js. So we also implement the cookies. So we try to create different section for user. So we using session ID to replace the original user ID. So it's really possible that if we being stolen, the session token being stolen, then they can pretend. So it's an impersonal user. And then we have the distribution of the malware. So we will redirect the users to some site or some give you some like download path. So sometimes when you page the path, it will automatically download. If we try to inject a script, so it will automatically like execute, then it causes a huge trouble. That means you don't know something is executing, but you already download on your computer. Here's some example like what really happened. So some in the real world, some like SQL injection attacks like eBay, Twitter. So I forgot to it's an access attack. So it will allow the user to like when they inject the script, so they will redirect the user to the breaching site. So all the user data will like compromise and lead to the financial loss and trust issue. Because once the user they have some issue like this, okay, they're being injected, they don't trust your official website anymore, then they are not using your service because you're not reliable. And also Twitter, Twitter, so they also allow the attacker to post the malicious tweets that redirect user to harmful sites. So after they inject it, so all the user maybe they log to the Twitter and then they click on it, then automatically redirect to another website. So this one, like from the server side, they really unknown. So that's why. And so like the web, the accesses can spread across the platform. So you will all know. Okay, and even Yahoo. So Yahoo also like expose the user data. So they will offer 100 millions of count, especially all these like huge company. They already have a like strong team, like big team working on it, but they still have weak skill, like the threat, like potential to being have a injection. So also they have like suffer like reputational damage, also financial cost due to the account recovery effort. So here's the things. Also, if we know what are the possible attack, then we need to know how can we prevent it, or like how can we protect. So most important is doing the vulnerability scanning and penetration testing. So always I need to test when we launch it. Because sometimes when we finish a function or complete a route, then you may not really test it. Okay, it works. But sometimes we have some potential risk. So have backdoor to allow the attacker to attack. So always try to review. So secure the coding practice during the development. So we try to implement different type of using maybe some package or like validation, and also education, not only developer, also the user. Like of course you are learning software engineering, or you want to like working in the field of cybersecurity. So you have high awareness to these things, but also maybe if you're working in a company, you need to educate the other employees too. Okay, so right here, I will give you the sample code of different type of it. So I'll show how it works. So executing, so if you're following or do it by yourself, is that after I execute it, you can use the Postman or a web browser if we are using the GET route. But if we are post, then you may be using the postman or using the curl the CURL in the terminal, post the using post with the data in the payload, and we are able to do that. So mainly we were doing like coming alert. So if we are input the information like correctly, it's just a regular information. But if we try to inject the script and then pop up alert notification, then you will see. Okay. So after you're able to successfully, you will see the execution if it pops out. So you will see, okay. So right here, I would like to show the first one. For testing, I start with the beginning. Here's the first one, and I also give the example right here. Maybe we move it, and then okay, I forgot to install the package. I need to initialize it. And then npm install the happy.js. Okay, let me start my server. And let me see. Okay, I forgot the right here. Okay, I forgot to use also install the Express. Okay, in this example, I'm using the Express. But what do you need to do? I will give you the exercise, and the exercise you need to convert it to the APJS and include the prevention. What you need to do. So let's say I have a local host 3000. Okay, so let's say I have a leave a comment right here. So I say hello, testing. So it looks totally fine. So I have a hello and testing. So I will send the comments and then have a go back button, go back. Okay, so if I try to inject a script, so this one is a script and I paste it and then submit. So this one is no longer like returning correct pages, but it will pops out alert. So this is an alert and then it says the access attack. Okay. When I click OK, so you didn't with it. So here's one of the very simple demonstration to like doing the access attack. And what you need to do, I give you I create the lab exercise right here. So you need to go to the assignment, and it's called the reflected access. So what you need to do, I give you the using Express. Then also I would show you the demonstration. What's the happy.js? So you need to do is I try to implement. And here's the example I will open for you access reflected. So let me execute this one more time. XSS 2. Okay, so the content is modified. Okay. What you need to do is try to wonder this one I'm passing through the query. Also right here. So this one is reflected and then it shows it's an XSS. So what you need to do, you need to work on the reflected XSS and modify to using Happy.js, and add the try to like modify it, and then how can you prevent it? Okay, so here's the hints. Because why not I give you the example is using Express, and you need to looking for a certain method. Actually, you're welcome to use some package to do that. So here's a lab is you need to make a screenshot, also like your original XSS file. Then you will able to see. Okay. Here's a typo XSS. Okay. So it's a lot. So right here, I will execute one more. It's called Express SSH. So it's the same. So here, this one is the form format, and I'm running on my server. Okay, let's say I have a message testing. Okay, my message testing. And then if I try to inject message, is called the script. So you can like follow this one, or if you want, you can copy from my script. Say like this, submit. So we do have another one. So you see, we have different format, but it's really similar. That means like we didn't check. So when we try to use a post method, send it to it. So what do you need to implement is try to change it to a complete Happy.js. It's pretty simple. So this time, try to copy the structure is like create using Happy.js, create server, and then have a route. So mainly we have the route is like we have the once return the form, action form, and then post. Okay. So I will give you the sample code of this one. So what you need to do is try to modify and change it. So the hints like we can use the code XSS to prevent it. So you need to study and then prevent the attack. This one. Or the one is like reflected CSCI. So I will show one more right here. So mainly you will see it's like another structure. So I didn't require anything. It's just the Happy.js that the server. So this one is, if you're familiar with it, we have two different formats. So this one is I gave you. So I just like give you the request and return the value. So if I try to inject it with the script, with the query, or if I pass it through the parameter, then parameter. Okay. So you will see. Okay. This one's running on the server. Okay. So if I didn't pass anything, it just by default is called guest. If I try to inject, let's say I am not injecting the script, but my name is Yoga. Okay, so Yoga, but this time, if I inject it, it has a script. Okay. So what do you need to do is like doing some prevention. So right here, I will give the lag time. So I post it. So you will see the reflected script and post it. I said the due time because it's a lab, so it's with due by the 25th. So just remember to submit this one. So this one is not the just the in-class exercise. So I'm designed for you to do it right now. But if you just like watch the video later, then try to let me know if you need more time to work on it. So let me execute this part. Here is actually is the hints, so you can see. And right now, let me modify the content. So I will install one more npm install the So this time I need to use a synthesize HTML. So it's a package I'm going to use. Okay, let me start one more time. So for testing, let's say I using my name. Yes, I got it. If I didn't set anything, guest. Okay, type it by myself. Okay, I have this one and execute. You see, so this time I already using a package. I read it. So what you need to do, you first one, you need to try to use the package. Second one, I will recommend another method. I would like to let you to set. So what you need to do is like follow my example right here using refer to the express. Calling the package, or we can even do like advanced level. Try to rewrite a syntax called the escape. So we validate the content. So when we pass it the content, then I will try to return it. So after I run the function, that will return the value. So you also try to create a new function to simulate it. So not only using the package, but also you need to because this time we try to call the function, right? Standardize the HTML. So that's how we do, like we try to request it. And if you able to do it, then you need to like try to implement a function. We call that like escape the HTML. Okay, right here. And so this time I'm not calling it. Then what do you need to do? I just changed the name. So what you need to execute is one more. So I should able to see you're executing two things. And then refresh, or I can show the value. So this time I'm not executing as the alert, but I replace the script as a text. So you need to able to do these two steps. One is like doing using the package to doing the detection. Second, try to add one more function. And this function, you should able to replace the original syntax. So I will post it right now and you can refer to it. Okay. Here's a sample. So one use package. Second, you need to implement a function. Okay. Right here, I'm not going. Okay, return something. Okay. I'll remove it. What you need to do is implement. So you need to, that's what we need to do and upload it. Okay. So if you're able to finish all this step, and then you will see, okay, so you will see for the attacking, you will see we will successfully execute right after this one. So we need to learn how can we doing prevention. So maybe the input encoding, that's what we try to do. Like we try to encode the output to prevent execution of the script, or we can do the like content security policy, CSP. So we define like which script they are allowed to run. This we can do like his example, maybe return the header security, default security self and script source is none. That's what we can do. Or we can add like HTTP only, and then the secure flag. So set this flag on cookies, and then we can prevent the access through the JavaScript. Also the validation, the input validation. That's what we try to do, like whitelisting the accepting inputs or sanitize the user input. So we call the sanitize, it just like clean it. So make sure the input didn't contain any scripts. Okay. So in addition, so we need to do always a regular security auditing, so we know our web application, especially sometimes we will add new path, new route to our server. Then we need to make sure also our developer. So you're one of the developer. We need to like train secure coding, have a good practice. And for the sanitation, like input validation and sanitization, so we try to ensure all the user input is validated and then against a set of rules and sanitize to remove the harmful code. So sometimes we have called a for DOM or like sanitize the HTML, like DOM purity to clean the HTML inputs. So we reject any inputs. They doesn't meet the expected format. So only letters or numbers, we only allow to do that. Or we do the like output encoding or escaping. So we'll convert a special character in the user input to the HTML entire like equivalent before rendering them in the browser. That's like we have the HTML to transform the character. So here's the two things. One's input, one's the output and context. So that's what you need to do for your in-class assignment. Try to finish and I will grade. So I already give you the sample right here. Also, we have like create a map for the special character, and then we can replace it. So also you can follow this way. So either way is fine. Just like you should able to showing, you try to prevent the reflected one. And then also the CSP is you will know is the content security policy. So this one is the feature is helping to prevent the access by content which resource can be loaded and execute on the page. So we can set the header like this, like the content security policy default. So what I give you. So this configuration allow the script to load only like from the same origin. So the origin, if you know, we say the cross site or the cross CORS. So we only the scripts like generate from the same site, that means from our API server is allowed to execute. If no, then we just reject it. So it can reduce the risk of external malicious script. And also we have called the HTTP only, and then the secure the cookies. So we try to flag for the cookies, so we can prevent the client-side script from access them. So we can try to set the HTTP only in the cookie and secure flag. So in the cookie, so when we return, so here's the path of code I'm using for the Happy.js. We can use the cookie session ID, let's say this one. So it's HTTP only true and secure true. So if we try to pass the parameter, so they cannot like access to the JavaScript. So they only send only over the HTTPS. That's how we do. Okay. So here's one of method to increase your server security. And also we do have lots of different type of frameworks like the package. So we have like web frameworks have a built-in protection against the XSS. So we can use just like some template engines like EJS, like handlebar, then they can escape the HTML by default, or we can leverage the built-in feature like using the Express Happy.js. We already have it. So that's what we can do to handle the security concern. Also try to have a habit like try to minimize. That means that we try to reduce the inline JavaScript in HTML page. So it makes us easier to implement the CSP. So you know when we working on the CSP, so the security policy is like try to like reduce like costs. So then we using avoid using OnK or no other event handler inline. Instead, try to attach the event listener using the JavaScript file. So here's the differences. Like instead of doing like on-click handle, we just listen to certain event and then detect the content. So for here, we look at some probability and significance risk. So here's the one of example you need to work on the reflect the XSS. Then we do have two more. One is called the store XSS and then the DOM. So I will execute, but later in the lab, you also need to compute these two. So I will execute the first one is called the store XSS. This one. So this one I'm also using the Express, but later you have to implement by yourself. So let's say I'm running my server on my local host 3000. Okay, and I will allow the user to input certain information. Let's say hello, and then testing. Okay, if this time I try to inject a script, you see I will have a pop-up. Okay, even later I refresh it one more time, you will see it pops out because when I start my server, I already saved this information. And how about I save it and then create a new one? I should access my local host 3000. Okay. And if later when we are able to access again, then it will deliver from the server one more time. So that's how it works. Like every time when we first get the new list, then it will pops out a message. So that's what we need to prevent. So this one is called a store access. So it will store in our server side. The main reason, because if you look at the source code, because we set the comments right here, so we will save it in our server. So every time when the user upload, like post it to our server or send it to server, we store it. So all the user who access it will retrieve the same content. So in the list, we have the script alert. So here's the one is called the store XSS. And then we will execute, showing you one more. Let's put a DOM. Okay. So for the DOM XSS, what you need to do is running the same express. Let me comment this one. And I will add the new book. Okay. Let me turn on, start the server. Okay. I need to modify it. And do the same local 3000. So right here, I have welcome. If you know the tag, if I try to inject it with the tag, then I will receive it, attach it. See, so when I refresh it, so this time I add it as a tag and then inject certain information to the DOM. So this one is called the DOM XSS. So suppose you're not allowed the user to like inject certain information. This time I just inject the content, but if I try to inject a link or some sort of message, so you will mislead. So if you try to inject something, let's say we are not using this website anymore, please visit abcd.com. Then you have something like message like this. Okay, of course, without encryption. Then when you see something like this, then it's possible that, okay, then maybe I will visit something else. So actually from the origin official website, I will visit to another like some like malicious website, and then maybe they request you download some software or they try to steal your session. They ask you to input the account. So that's how it works. We discussed showing you three types of them are using the Happy.js. For this time, for your exercise, what you need to do is complete the reflector as an exercise. And actually for later, you also need to try to work on the DOM base and also the Express. I will tell you solution how to fix this one. Let's say for the store, if we working on the Express, maybe we will try to using the phaser. So body phaser right here, Express, also using the HE. So we will try to map it. So we try to escape. So if you talk about the output, then we try to doing the escape and then try to remove some special character. You see that like some the arrow and then some scripting. Then after we doing a script, then we will save it. Also, we will do the same because sometimes maybe when we try to implement, then we will able to create a server. And but but we still need to save it all those comments in the server, right? But how can we prevent those content? And that's what we need to do. Okay. So here's the method to prevent the store access. So try to use escape. And then we have one more is the DOM. How can we prevent the DOM? Actually, we will do the same, like try to escape the input, or like when we try to using this one, we try to like hash the location of the string. So, or like the content at the event listener and doing hashing, then we can prevent it. So right here, let me change it. So why now I already modify it. Let's say I doing the same. So you see, this time we have the cache. Let me remove the cache. And then this time, okay, I need to move. Okay, I'm not using this one. Hashing and script. Okay. Maybe we start my server. We declare the express. Okay. Okay. So this time I try to using hashing and then using the test content, so I can prevent the input. So this is the DOM, and then let me test the comment this part. No. Let me see. Okay, I forgot to remove the comment. Okay, I need to install the modules. Okay, so right here, so I start with the beginning. Okay, if I send it script, okay, I do the same. Hello, testing. Okay, so this time I need to inject the script. You see, I show the script correctly, but it won't pop out. Okay. So that's how we handle. Let's say, you see, we still allow the user to input certain content, but this time we just like take it as a, like, because we replace it, the one escape, if you remember, we doing as an output, then we are okay to handle all this information. So that's how it looks like. So what you need to do is your, like, the lab time and practice time. So I already upload all this source code in Express format, but what you need to do is that you need to create a happy.js format and submit it. Okay, so as a first lab exercise, you need to upload is the reflected exercise. Okay. I give you the lab time and then you can do it. After you complete, just like please upload the source code, just one JS file and then a screenshot of your result, and that's okay. And thank you for your class. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.